All right, the campaign goes on. The president has an aggressive travel schedule as he has all this week. Keep in mind, barely a week after surviving COVID-19, he's as busy as any candidate has ever been on the campaign trail, and a lot busier than his opponent, who will be staying home today. Joe Biden is expected to head off to North Carolina tomorrow, but the president will be visiting Michigan and Wisconsin, two states he won last go-round that shocked the political world and paved the way for a victory that no one saw coming. Former Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker with us right now. Governor, always good to have you. Depending on the polls, Governor, it looks like it will be tough for the president to do what he did 4 years ago. They've widened out a little bit in Michigan as well, but he's going, and right now Joe Biden is not. And I find Biden's travel plans almost like those of Hillary Clinton 4 years ago, where maybe she took those states for granted, didn't bother campaigning. Joe Biden could be repeating the same mistakes or just sitting on a lead. What do you think?
Oh, I think he's repeating the same mistake. Even earlier this summer, before the Kenosha riots, when things were burning to the ground there and sadly 2 tragic deaths, Joe Biden, prior to that, had never been to Wisconsin since he announced for president, not just during the pandemic, but early in 2020 and all throughout his campaign in 2019. I think it was a critical mistake that Hillary Clinton made 4 years ago, and I think Joe Biden's making that again. The president is not ceding any ground. He'll be in Janesville today, and that's a critical place for him to do well in.
You know, I just wonder whether some of your fellow Republicans, Governor, are getting worried. Now, it's one thing, Senator Ben Sasse of Nebraska, always a critic of the president, saying right now is, you know, the virus response has been pathetic, et cetera. But it wasn't that long ago that Ted Cruz of Texas had feared and said that there could be a Republican bloodbath of Watergate proportions if we don't move quickly. Lindsey Graham, who kiddingly mentioned the possibility the Democrats will retake the White House, and others who are trying to distance themselves from some of his more controversial policies. By far not all, but a number that has me wondering, are they worried enough to think, you might lose, Mr. President, but don't take me down with you?
Well, I think the key is they're trying to energize the base. The base on the other side will walk through fire. They'll walk over glass. They'll do just about anything, which is why you see so high numbers in states like mine and others in terms of early voting. Those people are going to vote early. They vote no matter what because they just hate the president. We need to make sure that
how is it Republicans
right of center
saying stuff like this, energizing the base, you think? I'm just curious.
Well, I think the base needs, they want to push back. They defied the polls 4 years ago. On November 2nd, 2016, the Marquette University Law School poll showed Hillary Clinton up by 6 points, and yet the president just barely carried the state. I think that was a motivator for many on the base. The other key thing that I expect the president to talk about today and others on his behalf is this whole issue of balance. Many of the undecided voters who will wait to make their decision probably close to or on election day want balance. And if they see a Democrat governor or Democrat president, excuse me, a Democrat House, a Democrat Senate, all moving towards overwhelmingly pushing the bias on the court by stacking it, by adding more members to the United States Supreme Court and providing a long-term imbalance, that's an issue of concern to independent voters.
Governor, thank you very much. We'll see. The president's got a busy schedule ahead of him.